Hello everybody, this is Amir Ruholahi, and in this presentation I am with you to discuss important ideas that we learned about feedback in second language learning from a book chapter made by Sheen and Ellis. There are several important implications and interesting ideas for ESL and EFL teachers and learners. What we will see in this presentation is a quick review of some types of feedback, which is essential to understand the rest of this presentation, and then we continue with what teachers should consider when correcting the learner's errors. Here we see some types of corrective feedback. Online feedback has immediacy, that is, the teacher quickly corrects the students, but in offline feedback, for example, you as a student do the writing activity and the teacher gives you feedback the following day. Or you give an oral presentation, but the teacher gives you feedback on your performance at the end of the class time. Input providing feedback is like reformulating the student's utterance, which is called a recast, which is sometimes followed by a tag question. For example, if the student says, they go to cinema yesterday, the teacher would say, they went to cinema yesterday, didn't they? In output prompting feedback, the student's erroneous utterance is repeated without any intonational clue to the error. For instance, in the same example, the teacher repeats, they go to cinema yesterday. Next thing is direct versus indirect feedback. In direct feedback, the teacher corrects the error and provides grammatical explanation or metalinguistic explanation for the students. For example, the teacher says, you should say or write, they went to cinema yesterday, and explains that there should be main verb and adverb agreement. But in indirect feedback, the teacher may just underline the errors and ask the students to provide the correct form. At the end of the book chapter, Sheen and Ellis are answering some questions, as you see here, and they are answering these questions related to which errors should be corrected, when they should be corrected, and how they should be done. There is no one-size-fits-all recommendation in giving corrective feedback. Therefore, we cannot say giving indirect feedback is always better because the students are more engaged in discovering their errors. Well, the justification seems interesting. However, it is the context of learning which decides which type of feedback is the best. Similarly, we cannot say offline feedback works better than online feedback. Well, you may ask why. Because it is the context of learning, or let's say the objective of curriculum, which says whether the students are to improve their accuracy or their fluency. For example, if they are to improve their fluency, they should not receive online feedback, which may interrupt them from time to time and take their attention away from what they were supposed to say. Let's relate this example to learning pronunciation. As I said, learning context informs on the type of corrective feedback. So if the learners are at the beginning of their familiarity with the phonemes of the new language, the feedback on their pronunciation can be on their intelligibility, which is individual word pronunciation. However, if the learners are trained how to present a lecture, the feedback should be on their comprehensibility, that is, how they can succeed to put the message across by focusing on their intonation and pauses in their utterances. You may all have heard that global errors, I mean the ones that would disrupt communication, should be attended to with corrective feedbacks. Yet, I say it depends on the context of education. Even the learner's age and attitudes can inform on the type of feedback. Then there is a question for you to answer. After tutoring some international teaching assistant on sentence intonation patterns, you could make them understand that falling intonation in a statement is suggestive of the speaker's certainty and knowledge. It is just showing that they are superior in knowledge, they are confident about what they are saying. But when an IT comes to present a lecture, you see that he adopts rising intonation for his statement. Right now, you tell me, what type of feedback do you use, why, when, and how? If it is contingent upon a special context that we discussed in this presentation, please discuss it. Thank you very much.